Cthulhu is part of a vast mythos of doom created by H.P. Lovecraft. But is perhaps Cthulhu real, and was Lovecraft's inspiration part of a terrible dark bargain? American writer H.P. Lovecraft, 1890-1937, was a master of weird fiction, gifted the world with a unique brand of horror, cosmic horror. Unlike traditional horror that relies on ghosts or monsters, Lovecraft's creations instilled a deep-seated fear of the unknown, the vastness of the cosmos, and humanity's utter insignificance within it. At the heart of this cosmic dread lies the Cthulhu Mythos. Lovecraft's works, largely published in pulp magazines during his lifetime, gained widespread recognition posthumously, influencing countless writers, filmmakers, and artists. His writing style merged gothic elements with a deep sense of cosmic horror, an existential dread of the unknown and the unknowable. Though Lovecraft struggled with financial instability and received limited acclaim during his life, his legacy has endured through the Cthulhu Mythos, a shared universe of ancient cosmic horrors. The Cthulhu Mythos is a fictional universe created by Lovecraft and later expanded by other writers. Central to this mythos is the existence of powerful ancient beings known as the Great Old Ones, who exist beyond human comprehension and care little for the fate of humanity. Perhaps the most famous of Lovecraft's creations, Cthulhu is depicted as a colossal, tentacled entity lying dormant beneath the Pacific Ocean in the sunken city of R'lyeh. Cthulhu's awakening is said to bring about madness and destruction. The Necronomicon, a malevolent tome shrouded in mystery and dread, is said to hold ancient secrets that mankind was never meant to know. Its pages are filled with incantations and rituals that can summon unimaginable horrors from beyond the veil of reality. The author, the enigmatic Mad Arab Abdul Alhazred, is a haunting figure whose very existence seems to defy logic and reason. In Lovecraft's stories, Alhazred is portrayed as a tormented soul, driven mad by his relentless pursuit of forbidden knowledge, ultimately meeting a gruesome end at the hands of cosmic forces beyond his control. The mere mention of the Necronomicon sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to delve into its dark and twisted depths. Elder gods and other creatures hold immense power and influence in the Lovecraftian universe, often existing beyond human comprehension. Yog-Sothoth, known as the All-in-One and One-in-All, is a cosmic entity that transcends time and space, possessing infinite knowledge of the past, present, and future. Nyarlathotep, also known as the Crawling Chaos, takes on many forms to manipulate and deceive humanity for its own sinister purposes. And Shub-Niggurath, the black goat of the woods with 1,000 young, represents fertility and creation, but also embodies chaos and destruction. Each of these entities brings their own unique brand of horror to Lovecraft's mythos, showcasing a dark world where mortals are mere playthings in the grand schemes of these ancient beings. Their domains are vast and unknowable to human minds, adding layers of mystery and terror to an already chilling narrative. Miskatonic University, with its imposing Gothic architecture and mysterious reputation, stands as a beacon of higher learning in Lovecraft's eerie world. The university's library is said to hold ancient texts and forbidden knowledge that would drive any ordinary person to madness. It is within the hallowed halls of Miskatonic that scholars delve into the darkest corners of existence, uncovering secrets better left untouched. The university serves as a focal point for many of Lovecraft's tales, where characters often find themselves drawn into sinister plots and encounters with otherworldly beings beyond human comprehension. Contrary to popular belief, Lovecraft didn't create a structured mythology. Instead, he wrote interconnected stories featuring these cosmic entities, leaving room for ambiguity and reader interpretation. The term Cthulhu Mythos was coined posthumously by his friend and fellow writer August Derleth, who further developed and categorized Lovecraft's creations. Born on August 20, 1890 in Providence, Rhode Island, Lovecraft's early life was marked by tragedy and instability. His father, Winfield Scott Lovecraft, was institutionalized when Lovecraft was just 3 years old and died in 1898 due to complications from syphilis. Lovecraft's mother, Sarah Susan Phillips Lovecraft, also suffered from mental health issues and was later institutionalized as well, dying in 1921. Lovecraft himself experienced a range of mental health challenges throughout his life. He was plagued by severe nightmares and bouts of depression, which often left him bedridden for extended periods. His fragile mental state was compounded by chronic financial difficulties as he struggled to make a living from his writing. Despite these personal hardships, Lovecraft's creative output was prolific. He developed a unique style of cosmic horror, emphasizing the insignificance of humanity within a vast and indifferent universe. His stories were primarily published in pulp magazines like Weird Tales, but he received little financial compensation and limited recognition during his lifetime. Lovecraft's family history and his own mental health deeply influenced his work, infusing it with themes of existential dread and the unknown. His reclusive nature and obsessive attention to his craft further isolated him from broader literary circles. In the final years of his life, Lovecraft's health deteriorated significantly. He suffered from malnutrition and was diagnosed with cancer of the small intestine. After a prolonged and painful struggle, he died on March 15, 1937, in Providence, Rhode Island, at the age of 46. Posthumously, Lovecraft's work gained widespread acclaim, significantly influencing the horror genre and establishing him as a foundational figure in weird fiction. His legacy endures through the continued fascination with the Cthulhu Mythos and the countless artists and writers inspired by his vision of cosmic horror. A fascinating and speculative aspect of Lovecraft's mythos is the notion that Cthulhu, or a similar entity, might be real and that Lovecraft himself was somehow inspired, or even manipulated by such a being. This idea suggests that Lovecraft's vivid imagination and creation of the Cthulhu mythos were not purely fictional, but were influenced by a direct encounter or a dark bargain with an otherworldly force in the Cthulhu mythos. In exchange, Lovecraft would lose his sanity. Further, he would only become famous after he died alone and in poverty. Perhaps the bargain was never agreed to, as Cthulhu would not have needed Lovecraft's consent to do any of this. Cthulhu simply used Lovecraft. Either way, Cthulhu wished for the stories to be told. Lovecraft often described his creative process as being driven by intense dreams and nightmares. These nocturnal experiences could be interpreted as the result of a pact with an eldritch entity, providing him with the inspiration for his stories in exchange for something unknown. The detailed and consistent nature of Lovecraft's mythos, including the fictional languages, rituals, and cosmology, raises the question of whether such intricate knowledge could be purely the product of his imagination, or if he had access to otherworldly sources. Lovecraft's life was marked by personal and financial difficulties, which some might argue could be the cost of his dark bargain. The notion that he exchanged part of his well-being for artistic insight and influence fits the archetype of a Faustian pact. The enduring popularity and expansion of Lovecraft's mythos suggest a persistent, almost supernatural influence. Could it be that Cthulhu, through Lovecraft, continues to exert a subtle control over human creativity and curiosity? However, it's crucial to acknowledge the flaws in this theory. There's no direct evidence in Lovecraft's writings, letters, or biographical information to suggest a literal pact with Cthulhu or any other entity. Lovecraft's nightmares and anxieties can be attributed to psychological factors and his own personal struggles, rather than supernatural influence. Insanity ran in his family, and he inherited it without the help of Cthulhu. The concept of a dark bargain is a common literary trope, often used to explain sudden genius or creative inspiration. Attributing it to Lovecraft might be an oversimplification. The idea of Cthulhu being real and making a pact with Lovecraft could be seen as an extension of Lovecraft's own literary themes. The notion that there are dark truths beyond human comprehension, and that engaging with these truths is both alluring and dangerous. In Lovecraft's stories, characters often discover terrible secrets that destroy their sanity, which parallels the idea of an author making a Faustian bargain for literary inspiration. The idea of Lovecraft striking a deal with Cthulhu for inspiration is a captivating thought experiment. It adds another layer of intrigue to his already chilling works. However, it remains purely speculative, with no concrete evidence to support it. Ultimately, Lovecraft's genius lies in his ability to tap into primal fears and explore the terrifying vastness of the cosmos, leaving readers to grapple with the unsettling possibility that we are not alone, and some things are best left undisturbed.